Hi, my name is Sheri and my sister is Karna, and she's gonna share with us Storyboard.
Hello, my name is Karna Peck, and I do a lot of books for authors, and I also do fun, cute little kid books for myself as well. And so I thought you might like to see how I put them together using the storyboard kind of method. And so I'm going to use this whiteboard here, and here we're going to go. So I have it.
No, not so fast.
Okay, so I have a granddaughter named Aurelia. And she's about 2. And I thought it'd be really fun to make a family book for her because I've done one for each of my grandchildren so far, and I have like 9 of them. So what I did is I start off with a storyboard, and the storyboard really helps me to understand how the book is going to go together. Otherwise, I'm kind of, hit missing it. So this is what I do. I say, she's a little 2-year-old. So I want about maybe 5 pictures in the book because they have low attention span. You have to understand who you're making the book for and for a little one. And so I said, okay, so I did these 5 different boxes, which represent the 5 different pages. And I go, well, what does Aurelia like to do? I talked to my daughter and I said, I would like to make this book. And she said, oh, let me help you. She did the words. And so we knew Aurelia liked, oh, okay. Aurelia liked to play in the rain. So we had one for rain, and she liked to play with her brother. And she also liked to play, she liked to swim. And she also liked to read stories. And I need a cover. And so that's my book. And I said, okay, with this storyboard, now I kind of know what I'm going to do insofar as my pictures. And she likes chickens. So I made her into a chicken. So I said, okay, let's make her into a chicken. And in the rain, and she likes big boots. She loves these big rain boots. So I'm going to put these rain boots on her. And I don't think I want her head down. I think I want her head up with a big rain hat on it. So that's my first, and she's gonna maybe have a jacket on because it will be raining and we want raindrops. So we have these little raindrops. So that's kind of my idea, my first one. So she liked to play with her brother and they like to play games. So I want her on the ground with her brother. They like to lay on the floor a lot. So, and then she's going to have, she's gonna have her feet and he's gonna have his feet. And their little heads are up here, and they're gonna be chickens because I like to keep everything in art. So that's my storyboard for my chicken. And then swimming, she loves swimming, but she's little, so she has to have one of those big flotation device. So I got my chicken in there, and she's gonna be swimming in this water, and she's got this flotation device. Just kind of gives me an idea where I'm going with this. And then she loves having stories read to her and to read stories. So I have this little book I'm going to do here, and she's going to be with her little head in the book, and and she's going to have her little chicken feet out there. So now, and the cover is, I'm going to use one of the pictures that I do and use it for the cover. D-O-N. One already done.
There's an eraser up there if you need it.
I know not where eraser is.
Click on the thing right below the pencil.
Oh, this one? Oh, maybe that's it. Okay,
And
because
then
this
touch.
is not,
There you go.
yeah,
Yeah,
there,
there you
okay,
go.
very good. So,
And you can change colors too. And thicknesses of your pencil.
one done. So that's basically what I'm gonna do. And then I go, okay, so these are my pictures, but maybe I want to organize them differently, because this book is not got a storyline. It's just pictures of what she likes to do. So maybe I would like to have this one at the end. This is the last picture. So this is picture number 5. And maybe I would like the reading picture number 1. And then 2 and 3 doesn't really matter. So 2 and 3. So we have some kind of an idea where they're going to be going. And so this is what a storyboard is for. So we get a really basic idea of what we're going to do. Now, when I get the words that my daughter has, I'm going to write them down here. So I have the words on each piece, and I'm going to put a bigger box around them so I make sure that I don't get them confused with the other ones. Always try and eliminate confusion. And I'm going to need a title for this one. I need a title. I want to put that up there. And who did the book down here. And so there I have my cover designed as well. So this is how I do a storyboard to kind of get all this kind of information really light, as you can see. So now I'm going to show you the pieces that we did. So this is, I'm going to first show you the,
I don't know if I like this one.
oh, too bad. Okay, so I'm gonna close this. You got this already? I'm gonna close this. Oh no, I'm gonna leave it open so you can see. So
But I just wanted to show that other people can write on it. Yep,
Right,
other people
okay.
can write on it if you annotate. You open up the top part of your screen and you do annotate. and
Right.
You could actually write on it.
Oh, very
too.
good. So this is the little one, you know, the little chicken in the rain, okay? And you
Do
see
you
I
want me
did,
to share it on mine, on this screen? It's maybe
Yes.
the camera's a little better. And
yes, okay. And you can see I
You know
did,
what, I'll share it, the PDF. How
That's
about if I
fine,
share the
sure,
PDF?
sure,
I have it available.
yeah,
So
So-
you have to stop sharing though.
okay, so I don't know how to do that.
Click on the screen, close, see that close?
There we go.
Okay. Now,
Close the whiteboard session.
close the whiteboard session. Okay, now I own it, so I'm gonna go ahead and share.
Okay, so pull up the one with her little Aurelia in the rain. Because that was the first one I wanted to do.
Okay, there you go.
Okay, and you see I didn't put boots on her because things can change as you do it, and I just thought those chicken legs were really cute. But you can see it kind of matched the idea. Oh, this is the front
cover.
page, and I used it for the front cover because I thought it was so cute. So this is the idea that you do. And now the next picture. So this was really a reading a book, and she just loves reading book, and you can see how it turned out. You know, it doesn't look like my quick sketch, but it's the idea getting it down, and then you can always play with it. And so I did her now in a fun reading book. So next one, and here she is in the water. And see, I did the tube around her so she could be floating because she never does any kind of swimming without having, you know, a flotation device. And as you can see, all the words that my daughter gave are put in it as well. And here she is, she's loving playing in the rain and hiking. She loves sticks and stuff, so there you go. And here she is playing with her brother. And it was just a really fun little book. And they love Legos, they love checkers, so there you go. And then I used the exact same graphic from the front to the back. A very inexpensive book to do, very fun to do, although
Now,
color
this
is way more expensive.
This is a family book?
This is a family book. This is just one. It's very few pages. I did it for my granddaughter, so she would have one. And
I'll
I
go
made
back to it again, just for fun.
and I made it washable. Okay, so it just give you a hint. There is paper you can print on that you can put in the wash machine and it'll stay. But you have to have the right printer and the right paper.
So what
And it's
kind of,
expensive.
what kind of, is this painted or?
This is watercolor and pen and ink. And as you can see, they do a beautiful job of bringing watercolor colors in and pen and ink. They reproduce very, very well. I have great luck with using watercolor and pen and ink. You can use gouache. Gouache is a more flat looking watercolor. It's
Now,
less
is the
transparent.
green part, did you put that in digitally?
What
The
green
green
part?
that's on the outside there?
Oh, yes. I put it in the computer and I digitized the backgrounds just because I like to add a little color to them.
So you didn't do that green?
No,
color
the
originally?
green around here is digitized in So it just adds a little bit more body to my book. I like to, particular looks. And this background was also digitized, the little round dots and the little blue. I drew all the water and then I dropped in the blue and the reflection of the.
How'd you get them circles so perfect?
Very carefully.
I see. So it's actually white paint over top?
No. The circles are just simply, when you're doing computer graphics, you can actually, you can just draw a dot, a circle, and then you can just reproduce it as much as you want and just lay it wherever.
Now, one of the things that I will just point out, because I put the books together for people, and that is that this particular art is not good for a full bleed, because the color doesn't go all the way to the edge.
Right. It's not made for a full bleed. It's made, you could use this type of art could be used as a page or just as a chunk of a page. You could put this at the bottom of the text, or you could actually put this, in the middle of the text if you wanted to. And then here you can see I again dropped in a color in the background, but actually most of it is a watercolor piece, minus the orange in the background. The orange in the background I added to it later. So, and as I look at it, I see little pieces I missed out to do. And most people are not going to notice, the little errors and whatnot, but they're a lot of fun to do. And I can also, when I do the piece, if I say, I want their tail a little bit furrier, I can actually click on that and drag that out and make it bigger. I have a lot of option on computer to redesign the piece once it's done as well. And so.
Now, I notice, and I'm just pointing out.
I cut out some bugs and put on this one.
Point out for the, the noticing, and that is that in order to write a title, you need a place that's not busy.
Well,
So,
I made BZ right next to it.
You did,
pieces.
but you can't have too many colors right behind the title. So I noticed that on this one, you made it a little different so that you could actually see it.
Yes, yeah, because when you're doing a book, you want people to actually be able to see their name, if you're doing it for a little girl especially, their name in these big huge colors. And you have to pay attention to the text as well, because actually this is not a very good text if she was in first grade. And I'll tell you why. Because this A is not the way they learn how to do an A in school,
Right.
So she won't know what that is.
Yeah.
For a 2-year-old, she doesn't care. But if you're talking about a kid that's in kindergarten, first grade, second grade, these are not letters like they would be reading in school. And it's much better to put letters in your book that they would read in school if you expect them to read the book. And so it's a lot of fun. If you have a grandkid, these pictures don't have to be beautiful. These are just quick little quippy kind of pictures. I just wanted to make her book, and you can sit down and just draw them out. And if you're not very good at painting, you can actually, all this black line, if you could just do the black line, you can actually bring it into a computer and color it in the computer. And so you can do the colors in the computer, the whole thing. If you don't have the ability to do the black lines, I don't know, maybe you have a friend that could do those for you. And it's really fun to compile a book together with several people too, because it's just fun to do. And especially if you have a family, like I have people in my family can also draw, and we've gotten together and we put books together that way. It's fun. It's fun to do. It's not, this is not to become, this is not a book that I produced to resale. This is a book for just a few people in the family. I have done books. I did a book for a family book, and it was for a real estate lady, and she had 2 granddaughters, and she wanted a book that depicted her granddaughters coming to their house in the woods that was at a lake, and all the different things they would do while they were there.
Well, and I'll show that book in the class.
And that book,
because we actually went and published that book.
Yes,
it's terrific.
It's a cute little book, and she gave me copyright to it.
That's what I was gonna say, is that was a for-hire book, but Karna did a contract with her to stipulate that she would own the.
I own all the
rights to it?
copyrights. She just wanted them, like 10 copies for her family.
Now,
And
does
she's
she
perfectly
own
happy.
the pieces or not? Do you have the
No, I
pieces?
still have the pieces.
So
even, yeah,
you
yeah.
retain the
Everything,
pieces of
everything,
art
yeah.
and you retain the
Yeah,
copyright and she
yeah.
wanted certain pieces. So that's kind of a great way to make money because you were able to make money both ways. on
Right,
it.
and the other reality is if you don't like the art or you don't want the art afterwards, maybe you should give it to them because they'll have more appreciation for it than you will. You're just throwing the cupboard and you don't know what to do with it. So think about that. If you think you're gonna use the art, I use the art for showing people what I can do and that kind of thing. But if you're not, attached to it in any form or fashion, sell it with the rest of it. Maybe add a little bit more to the price or something, because they're gonna be thrilled and present it to them in a nice fashion, either mat it or frame it or, at least put it in plastic, do something that makes it look like it was valuable.
Well, we're gonna see a lot of books and show a lot of books during the class.
Yeah.
I'm noticing as a publisher that you've maintained the integrity of the characters through the book,
Okay,
okay?
so we're gonna talk a little bit about that
Oh,
as well,
sorry,
if you'd
sorry.
like to. When, I'm gonna go back to the whiteboard.
Okay, so I'm gonna stop my share.
Yeah, and I'm gonna go back to my whiteboard here. Okay, so when I'm doing a piece of art, I have found, I guess I have to have a marker. Like right with my finger. When I have a piece of art and, okay, let's say this is a watercolor job, okay? And so what I do with that is I buy a tablet of watercolor paper, the whole tablet, and then I want the tablet to be big enough that I can actually do the artwork inside of this parameter. I want about 3 inches here from there to there, all the way around, 3 inches.
I think we should use a fatter pencil.
This thing
Up
doesn't.
there, below the black dot is the pencil.
Okay.
Click on that and see the thickness and
Okay, we'll try
increase
that.
the thickness, so it'll show up a little better on the screen.
There we go. Okay,
There
so
you
we
go.
got 3 inches here. 3 inches. Inches. Hold on a minute. We got to clean this up. We artists, we like it to look a little bit better. Just erase it a little bit. Okay, back to here. So 3.
That's much better
Yeah.
on the screen over there.
Yeah,
You can
it's
really
much
see it
better.
much
Yeah,
better.
yeah. Okay, so 3 inches around, and then I do my drawing, whatever it is, and I get my drawing done, and then I say, okay, this works for me. But what happens if I wanted to put another chicken in it? Let's say I was supposed to put another chicken in it, and so I do this little rooster here, and but his tail is coming off a little bit. This 3 inches gives me that opportunity to have the space to do those corrections without getting too upset. And maybe actually it's going to be, by the time I'm done with it, I'm going to be more like this in the art instead of over there. So it gives me a little bit of flexibility to fix that problem. It also,
She likes the eraser now.
Yeah, now I know the eraser works. There we go.
Control Z.
Control Z, yes. So
Okay.
So we have that, but it also, I also like to put my page number and some notes. So I get the picture done, I got my page number and my notes, because you'd be amazed if you're doing a book with like 26 pictures, which does happen a lot. By the time you're done with the 26th one, you don't remember which page these things are supposed to be on. And then you're kind of working hard to figure that one out.
The other aspect that I know from actually publishing the book is I don't necessarily want to use a picture across a spread if the main character is going to be in the crack of the book.
Right. So like I said, so with this piece, I could redo these lines. And then let's say that I've got this piece and this works okay, but let's say my book actually I can kind of sort of fudge a bit, and I'm going to put a little chicken out here as well, because, and this is the little baby chicken, okay, and he's out there. So I can do this. I can take this whole picture and bring it into the computer. And then I can actually, like carefully just go, okay, now I can make this into a picture. And then later on, I can add them all three together. So I can use this, basically this drawing twice to save money and time. So you can do that. And you can cut up pictures a lot in order to do this. See, I'm very good at this erasing thing now. But this is what I do with watercolor. I make a box around it. So I have this flexibility to do the piece and a little bit of space to write notes and things and a little bit of space to move. And I use the same size.
For every picture?
For every picture,
Okay.
because when you're doing a book, it's really irritating for the next process if everything's different sizes. So the next process is going to be putting it into a digital format. You're going to either take a photo or you're going to scan it or something. And if let's say you're going to scan it and your scanner bed is like an 18-inch bed, and you lay it down there and three of your pieces fit on it, and the fourth one is like 4 times too big. That is really difficult. So you have to kind of think outside of your box a little bit. Say, how am I going to get this into the computer? You could photo them, and a photographer can photo them and get them in as well. But if a photographer has to reset up for every picture because they're all different sizes, he's going to charge you more than if they're all basically the same size. Not only that, your
publisher hates you.
Yeah, your publisher is not happy either. And the other thing I use the same paint.
Oh, for like the same colors?
Same paint, because the color congruency happens then. In other words, the red chicken that was the head of the book, he stays red throughout the book, the same red. He doesn't change his colors and all that kind of thing, unless he's supposed to change his colors. But basically, if you use the same paint, paints, S there, paints, P-A-I-N-T-S, there you go. Then your consistency of color stays. And the photographer, again, you're talking about the photographer, if he has to reset it up because the colors are different and they're not working, it's going to cost you a lot more. So just hang in there with the same color paint, and that's going to make it a lot easier. So basically the size and the paints. And I draw quite often, I use a black marker. Like I did on the little one that you saw with Aurelia, and I black marked hers. If you're going to do this, so I have this piece I've done. Now, before I actually paint it in, I will take a photo of it. And the reason I take a photo of it is to preserve the black lines, because you can use them in so many ways. But number one, if I screw up the painting, I have the line art, so I don't have to redraw the whole thing. And I can just print that out and use a carbon paper, lay it back down on my paper and draw around it. And that's very fast. And then just reline it and then repaint it. Or I can actually take the print out and color those in to see how I want to do it before I actually do the final piece. And the other thing is, sometimes people like to make a coloring book at the end, and they're wonderful for a coloring book, because you can just put these pieces at the end of the book and let other people color them in as well. So they're versatile. They're lots of very, very versatile. And so that's what I do. And then I paint it in after I take a photo of the outlines. And that's just, a way of saving time and all that kind of things, because you can do a lot of work drawing something, and then, somebody comes by and spills paint on it or water, or, the dog comes by and, dips your coffee over. At least you can reproduce it then again. So that's what I'm doing. Take it. It's really nice to, and I take it at a pretty good DPI. So when you're taking a photo, don't take the cheesy, you want it at a fairly decent resolution. Resolution means dots per inch.
Sometimes it doesn't work.
Yeah, sometimes it's not working very good. Dots per inch. And so usually 300 is a good one. because 300 is a little better than you actually need for printing on a book, but it's really good for reproduction. If you go 600, the problem with that is it takes up a lot of space in the memory. And a lot of people don't like to work with the 600 because there's too much space taken up. So 300 to start with, and you can always reduce those when you bring them into the computer down to, 150 or whatever. But if you don't take them big enough, you can't make them bigger later on the computer. Oh, you can make them bigger, but they just spread out the dots. It doesn't look good. So I would say 300 DPI is a good one to take the photo, because you don't know what you're going to do with the black and white either. And also sometimes the problem that happens is they want to make it twice as big. And when you're making it twice as big, those dots are going to be a little stretched. So that this is a good one to stretch. So I just,
Or they want to make a poster out of it.
yeah, they might want to make a poster. There's a lot of big art that they want to do. Yeah. And this will work way better.
A lot of the authors, they want to go ahead and do their book, but then they want to make a banner.
Right.
For when they go to an event.
And the other thing with the notes on the bottom and everything, if you take another picture once it's done, just with the notes and everything, it's nice to put in a little, in your computer, just to save it for later prosperity. And for some reason, sometimes, the world is real, and sometimes things happen to your piece, and you will have at least a digital copy of it. And so you'll be able to pull it up and say, okay, I got that one done. And then again, save it at 300 DPI. You don't want to save it lower. Okay.
That's good. You can stop sharing.
Oh, I can stop sharing. Okay, let's see.
Well, thank you so much, Karna,
you're
for
welcome.
swinging by the library here to share with us this part on the storyboard. And we'll look forward to seeing you actually join the class.